Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. Today we're going to work on a Jeep Wrangler 2017 passenger side gasket replacement for the valve cover. I discovered a leak a couple of weeks ago and it looked like it's getting pretty bad. And it's coming from the gasket. So first thing I did was I tried to go into YouTube and see someone already make a video, and I'll just follow it. I don't have to make one for you guys. So I found one video that's very popular. So I followed through the video. I thought everything was gonna be fine, but halfway through the video, I found out there's a couple of issues that I struggle. And I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that that video, the way that they've done it, I'm not sure if it's a different model year, but for 2017, I'm having issues accessing two bolts. And I will explain what's going on. I'm gonna go through the process of getting this done, so I'm gonna try to help you guys out to solve that problem. I couldn't get the instruction from the video to work for me. So in the back of the valve cover, now this valve right here is a PCV valve, and it stands for positive crankcase ventilations. Basically, it's just venting the pressure off from your crankcase. And this locates in the back of the valve cover, and that's literally about 2 inches to your firewall. So your firewall is like this, and this thing is sitting like this with two bolts. There's one bolt here and one bolt here. It's very difficult to get access to it, especially you guys with big hand. I think I might find out why, because there's a lady that's working on the project. She did a great job, very experienced mechanic, but I think she has such a small hand that she was able to get in there and get things done. I couldn't get my hand in there and actually get to work. I'm a very experienced car guy. I do several engine work and I cannot get it to work. So the video suggests that for you to use one of these. So I couldn't get my conventional tool to work, so I went in. Well, this one, what it does is swivel, right? So you can come in there like in the back and you can swivel and allow you some room to work on it. So I went and bought one of these. Couldn't get it to work. It was just too tight in there with my hand on there, and this doesn't work. So the next day, I bought all these from Amazon. I'm gonna attach a link so you guys can go and get one. So that didn't work out for me. So the next step was I went in and I bought one of these. And these are T25, guys, T25 Torx. So I went online, I bought myself one of these. So these are a lot shorter. So if you compare these two, you can see that this is a lot shorter to deal with. So I was able to get the one on the bottom. So there's two. So one on top, one on the bottom. This one, you have to take off your fender well. And the video that I'm referring to, they'll show you how to do that. So you take off your fender well, and then you come in. And it was very easy for me to come in and get the bottom bolt with this. But I could not get it with this. This is just like too much for my application. She might have a different car, I don't know. Or she has a smaller hands that she can squeeze on there. Anyway, this works. So go get one of these guys. So I'm gonna attach a link to this so you can go and get one of these from Amazon overnight. So now I got the bottom portion of it out. The top part, I'm still struggling. I couldn't use this because it's just so tight in there. I couldn't use this. This is even worse. So I do have a plan. And I'm gonna show you guys how to get that done. I think it's gonna work well. So bear with me. Our objective right now is just trying to get the cover out of the car so we can start, putting the new gasket on. And right now, this is the last step. So the problem is you don't remove this right here. This goes into, it sticks a little bit into your cam, I think. It's an overhead cam. It goes in it. So it won't allow you to pull. I already tried to pull, and you can see like my hand got creased over. I tried to pull, and it wouldn't because this got to be taken out. So, by the way, the video discussed about just getting a new gasket for this PCV valve. Go get a new one, guys. I get this from Amazon, from Dorman for, it's like $25 or something. Dorman makes really good product. I use them all the time. So go get one of these new one. Don't just reuse beer. These will get clogged up. You have a lot of grease and stuff trying to come up, and it will get clogged up. And then when it clogged up, it built the pressure inside and it blow your seals out. Go get this replaced. Don't follow that video and reuse your old one. So now let's try to get the top bolt out. That's going to be my main issue right now. Okay, so I'll show you guys what we're talking about. So the video will show you how to take like all the stuff up here out in order to get to your valve cover plate, which is this plate right here. And you can see that I already got it free up, ready to be taken out. But that PCV valve issue, of course, and it locates like way back, like back here. Like you cannot, you only can feel it. You can't see because it's like way back in that corner, and you can see how tight everything is in there. The only way is to feel for it, and you put your hands in there, and you can see like my hand doesn't barely fit in there. So I could not get any wrench to go in there, and it's like this dipstick is in the way. There's another holes, some kind of emission control holes that are in the way, and this is the valve's back there. So this is in the way. So what I did was I pulled this with this strap right here that way, so it's kind of an inch away from where the bolt is, so that's okay. But this is the main concern right here. I think if I get this removed or pull this side, I'm able to get my hands in there and kind of get the wrench in there, but this is definitely in the way. Okay, so this dipstick tube is definitely in the way, and you can see that's already about an inch further from the top of the valve cover. And what I did was I stick this long extension, just make sure it's round. I stick it on here, and then I physically deformed this and moved it up about an inch, maybe an inch and a half, just enough to get my hands in there, because you know, now you can get your hands in there and get that bolt out, the PCV bolt out, the top one. Now the bottom one you can get access to from the fender well, but the top one you need to get your hands in there, and that's one way to clear it. You can see that there's more room to work with now, so I can get this in there, but barely, and then there's not enough room for this long wrench. So I'm gonna cut it and leave it about 2.5 inch and see if we can get in there. Okay guys, let's see if I can show you guys how to get this done. I got the bolt loosened up already, and the way I did it is that I lean on the Jeep and I use my right hand, and I'll reach in, and you see how I created a lot of room between this dipstick and this wall right here. So I just crap on the tip of this thing right here, so I was able to use one of my finger to swivel it. So I take that and I come in here just like that. I hope you can see on the video, but my palm is resting on the back of the valve cover, and you just use your fingers to maneuver. Now at this point you can't see it, you only can feel it, and it's the best time to learn how to use all your fingers, guys. But I got it to work. That's your culprit. Now let's see if I can pull that cover out, or the PCV valve. Well, it came out, but it fell in. I gotta go down there and get it. Well guys, this is the old PCV. Not sure if you can see the inside, but it's look pretty nasty in there. So make sure you replace with a new one. So that's there. Now, one of the thing about the video is that they didn't show you step by step on how to get this cover out after you get all the bolts removed, everything removed. And even with the PCV valve removed back there, I still couldn't get this to pull out. And you can see in the video, the lady is trying to pull on it and it gets stuck. And one of the things I noticed is that I have a emission line. Now I just tucked it in, I'll show you what I did, but that emission line right there I'm pointing to, it was literally like up here and then wedged back there. So it's in the way, and I try to pull it up and it keep getting in the way and trying to fight it, couldn't get it out. So I think what she did was she cleared by pulling this whole piece down, and it's kind of hard to bend, so you're gonna have to, push it down real hard, and then you have to go into your fender well, then you're gonna have to pull it down. See, what I did here was I used my strap and hooked up to here, and then I pulled the whole thing down. It's quite flexible, so you're not breaking it. You gotta clear from the top of the valve cover. Otherwise, I don't think you're ever gonna be able to pull it out. So that's where I'm at. Now I'm gonna try to pull it out and see if it's gonna work for me. Well, it is an absolute nightmare trying to get this cover out. Even after I get the PCV valve out, trying to pull it straight up and angle this way, wouldn't come out. I was fighting it all over, and I got it up to this point so far, and it wedged back there. I still couldn't get it out, but I'm getting close. So I went down this way, and it looks like, let's see if I can get some lights in here and show you what's happening. So you see that cable there, the black cable. So that is the negative, or the ground that they're trying to ground the block to, and that is wedged against. See if I can show you a little clearer. See how I pulled that emission tube down? And let me put this down so I show it to you. So this is the emission tube, and so when the cover tried to come out, it tried to push itself towards this way, and then so this line's in the way because I pulled this all the way down to here. So I'm gonna remove that bolt right there. You see the bolt that's mounting the negative cable to the block. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that bolt out so you can get some lights in here. There we go. So that's take a 13 millimeter. I already broke it loose. So let's see if I can get that out. Okay. So now, look like this is a little more flexible. I'm gonna try to pull from the top and see if I'm able to get that out now. Well guys, it's finally out, and this is the inside of your valve cover. This is where it's leaking. It's like all over this place. You can see that the gasket is like almost flat. It sits there for too long with temperature, and it deforms, and it's just running flat here. So that's why it's leaking. So I'm gonna pull this out, clean everything up, replace it with a new gasket, and try to get it back. Okay, so getting the cover back on is not as hard as getting it out, but you need to maneuver it, try to get it in. Just don't force it too much. Just try to take it easy. It will come in. Now, the one thing that the video that I referenced to did not mention about this part, and it took me quite a while to try to figure this out. Okay, so there's two cam sensors here, and taking it out, you really don't need to remove them to take it out, but to bring them back in, you cannot assemble these outside. That's what I did. I figured I just assembled the two sensors outside and get it in. It did not work, and here's the reason why. So the sensor in the back of the sensor, this little thingy here that comes in and out. And I wasn't aware, because when I was looking at it, it looked like this. So I don't think it was gonna get in the way of anything, because it's barely sticking out. But as you're trying to get the thing in, the cover in, it came out to like that. So now it got hung up on the cam. So make sure you don't put the sensor on until you get the cover on, tighten it, and then get the sensors on. Well, the job is completed. I have to admit that this is the most difficult gasket replacement of a valve cover I've ever done in a modern vehicle. I've done probably 5 or 6 different modern vehicles. This is the most difficult one. It's not hard, it's very difficult to get around the components and trying to get them out, getting the bolts out. It's not only the PCV, it's everything else that is just very tight. And you guys with your big hands, this is just not gonna work out. It's just way too difficult to get around. I guess scratches and cuts everywhere. I started out on a Friday afternoon and didn't get done until Sunday afternoon. So you can see how long that takes. And I worked on cars all my life. I have a lot of experience getting myself around the engine bay. This is just ridiculous how they design the engine inside a vehicle. So Mopar guys, you gotta go back to the drawing boards and try to make some improvement, because this is totally ridiculous. Anyway, it can be done. I've got it done, and I see some other people posting YouTube videos that they've done it. So you guys can do it too, but just be patient. Now if you're doing this for the first time, just plan for the entire weekend, because you're gonna struggle like myself, just trying to get things in and out. Not only getting things out, but putting things back in is difficult as well. So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is that the distance that I cut was 2.5 inches. So this is much longer when cut it, and it's down to 2.5 inches. And it works perfectly trying to maneuver around to get the PCV bolts out. Anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.